Hello viewer, welcome to Artistry. I am your presenter, Tirus Wanyoike. Now today we have another project. We want to see the simple construction of this project. And I'm sure many of you or many of us have this item at home. If you don't have one, then I know you're planning for one, because it is an important piece of joinery that is used in the kitchen. We call it the chapati board. The chapati board is a very important piece of joinery used when we are rolling our chapatis. So for you to get a good chapati and a standard one, and to do it in style, you need the right item. So we call it a chapati board. And the chapati board, of course, we know its use. We use it together with a rolling pin to roll the chapati. So I want us to see the construction of this project. And as we said, we start every construction with the preparation of the cutting list. The cutting list will help us determine how much material, what are the inputs other than timber, and finally how we cost our project. So the chapati board has various stages of construction. As you can see, the nice rounded top, it came from a very raw piece which was looking possibly like this. Possibly like this. So this piece, if you get it in your compound, of course the first thing you would think is firewood. But look at that piece, it can give you such a nice piece of item like this one. But it's quite some work that will be put into it. So we also include other strips like this one to form the stands, ama miguu vile tunaziita. So we will have the screws. So all these are inputs of the cutting list. We have the timber, we have the screws, then we have hand tools. We need hand tools, and then we need glue to join it. So for this one, we don't apply varnish. The reason being, varnish has chemicals which may be toxic to us. So for this item that is going to be in close contact with food that we are going to eat, it is important to keep off any manner of chemicals. So we are not going to put any chemical on it, whether of varnishing or something like that. What we do to it, we preserve it using the salad oil that we use at home, the Elimu and other brands that we have. Whatever salad oil that you have, you just smear a bit of it on the surface and underneath, so that we can preserve it from water, so that it will not be destroyed by water. So what happens now here, once we prepare the cutting list to have the piece that is round. This is exactly 300 millimeters diagonal, or rather diameter, sorry. So the diameter is 300, so the length of the piece will be 300, and then the other piece also will be 300. So it should be a square piece, 300 by 300. Then we will cut the round shape. So that makes the top 300 by 300, one piece that is going to be 20 millimeter thick. So that will make the top. Then we have the stands. The stands are going to be 250 millimeters long. Then we have 30 millimeters width. That will make the height. And then we have 20 millimeters thick. So that will make the thickness of the stand. So with that, we are home and dry with the cutting list. Now we move to the construction process. It is not as complicated as other pieces of joinery, because we have the butt joint at the center, where we just press the two pieces or the three pieces, however wide they are, to make 300. We put glue, and then we press with a clamp. And then after that, we do fine sanding and finishing on it so that it is smooth. Then there is a process of making it round. We have different ways of making it round. We can mark it. We mark it first, the shape. We can use a compass, and then we shape it. Then from there, we can use the rip saw and cut all the way, and then we use the file. We have a file that we round the edges with. I'll hold it on the bench here, and then I'll use the file to round. I'll use the wood file. You can see it has coarse file, or rather it can roughly file, and then after filing, I'll use the sandpaper to make it round. Another method or technique that we can use is still this machine that we used the other time to put the, or rather to make the mortise hole. They can still be used to make the round shape. What I'll do, I'll secure it tightly on a board like this one. That's just a normal board, MDF or something. Then I'll put a screw here. I'll measure between here and the end of the bit here. Should be 300 because, no, sorry, it should be the radius, 150. From end of that bit to this one should be 150. That makes the radius. And then I'll pin this one at the center of the board that I have laminated at the center, and then I'll put it on power, and then I'll rotate it. On the whole of this piece, I'll rotate it round with the machine running. I'll secure it well on this board, and then I'll make sure that my center does not move. And so with that, it will cut all the way around, and I'll still have the round shape. So we have different ways of obtaining these shapes. So with the use of these power tools, we can achieve what we want to achieve, especially the round shapes and other trimmings that we may need to do with this machine. It's a very important machine, but as much as we now get the round shape, it's time now that we measure for our stands. So the stands will come from such a piece like this that will be 500 millimeters long, because we said each one of them is going to be 250. So in our cutting list preparation, we can either prepare 250 millimeters, 2 pieces, or one piece that is 500 millimeters long. Then we cut into two. And then from there, we make the joint at the center here. We talked about joints in our previous sessions. So the joint here, we call it a cross halving joint. It forms a cross, then it is cut into halves. It is cut half here and another half here, then we join it together. We make the cross halving joint. So with this now, after the cross halving joint, then we shape here, using the chisel and a sandpaper. We finally sand, and then we place it, here. We mark exact center, and then we can use this machine now for fixing. It's a cordless drill or a cordless driver. Now we are going to use the driving part of it. So we measure we get the right screw, and then we pilot for the hole. We said we pilot for the hole, and then we fix it. Can now fix it. It will drive it right inside. Right inside the top, and then I'll continue with the other part. Then the other two screws. Then finally, I'll have my chapati board finally fixed. So it has the stands. Then we have a round top. The top is well rounded at the edges. Now, the only remaining part is a bit of sanding so that it can be very smooth on top. And then we apply salad oil on it. After we apply salad oil, then you can leave it overnight. The following day now, you can smear a bit of flour on it and then start working out your chapatis. So that is a simple process of making this simple item. So it is made from almost scrap wood that you may be having in your yard. Then you add value to it until you get such a product. So for now, we will take a break and then we'll be back to see more concepts in joinery. Thank you.